I am so excited for the books that I will be reading in September. Let's get right into it. Hola mi gente, MsMalcolmHughes here. Welcome back. Today we're going to be discussing the books that I will be reading in September, also the book that you all chose for me to read, and then I'll also be sharing some of the books that I'm looking forward to coming out in October. And so let's just dive right in. The first book that we're going to discuss is the book that you all chose, and that is The Spook Who Sat by the Door by Sam Greenlee. And here's what it's about. A classic in the Black literary tradition, The Spook Who Sat by the Door is a strong comment on entrenched racial inequities in the United States in the late 1960s. With its focus on the militancy that characterized the Black Power movement of the 1960s and 70s, this is the story of one man's reaction to ruling class hypocrisy in ways that make the novel autobiographical and personal. As a tale of a reaction to the forces of oppression, this book is universal. Dan Freeman, the spook who sat by the door, is enlisted in the CIA's elitist espionage program. Upon mastering agency tactics, however, he drops out to train young Black Chicagoans to combat racism as freedom fighters in this explosive novel. I've seen this movie, loved it. I actually saw Sam Greenlee in Chicago back in the day. We were at the same vegan restaurant, and just like good dude. So like I am excited to read this book, see how it compares to the movie, and just learn more. This is such a cultural and historical point in time that I'm excited to see what it's all about. The next book we have, I'm from Chicago, and it's given Chicago with that book, and then this one, and it is The Davenports by Krystal Marquis. It says, in 1910, the Davenports are one of the few Black families of immense wealth and status in a changing United States. Their fortune made through the entrepreneurship of William Davenport, a formerly enslaved man who founded the Davenport Carriage Company years ago. Now the Davenports live surrounded by servants, crystal chandeliers, and endless parties, finding their way and finding love even when they're not supposed to. There is Olivia, the beautiful elder Davenport daughter, ready to do her duty by getting married until she meets the charismatic civil rights leader Washington Dwight and sparks fly. The younger daughter, Helen, is more interested in fixing cars than falling in love, unless it's with her sister's suitor. Amy Rose, the childhood friend turned maid to the Davenport sisters, dreams of opening her own business and marrying the one man she could never be with. Olivia and Helen's brother, John. But Olivia's best friend, Ruby, also has her sights set on John Davenport, though she can't seem to keep his interest, until family pressure has her scheming to win his heart just as someone else wins hers. This sounds so interesting. And look at the cover. It's stunning. Love it. Black wealth back in the day. I want to see how all of it intertwines, and I can't wait to share it with you all. Next up, we have a continuation of a series that I recently started. I also talked about it in my August review, so check out that review for the first book. And this one is Loving You Always by Kennedy Bryan. And this one says, an impossible choice, an undeniable love. Karis Morton should be the happiest woman in the world. She has a successful business and is about to start the family she's always wanted. But the man of her dreams, the one whose green eyes see straight into her soul and whose gentle hands make her body hum with pleasure, is not hers. Each secret moment with Walsh Bennett serves to remind Karis of what she's missing, and every stolen hour makes it harder to see her future without him. But being with Walsh will betray a sacred promise and upend her perfect life. When tragedy strikes, the razor's edge between love and loyalty grows sharper than ever, and Karis must decide where her heart will fall. I'm enjoying this series so far. I'm a good ways through this one, and I just love the complexity, and it just always like ponders my mind how people make the choice to stay where they are for comfort or security or loyalty versus to go where their heart really lies. And this book deals with that, so right on my alley. Next up, we have a little novella from a series that I also love, and that is Pandora's Rhymes Reason, and this is from the Soul Ties series. And this one says, Pandora's Rhymes Reasons focuses on Rhymes Reynolds, a beautiful 30-something-year-old woman who's always done the right thing. As a textbook good girl, risks are something she wouldn't normally take. However, she catches even herself by surprise when she ends up dabbling inside of Pandora's box, where she finds Judah Wolf. Judah Wolf has a tendency to fixate on things, beautiful women to be specific. When Ryan comes into the crosshairs of his view, his curiosity is piqued and his fixation at an all-time high. So I have read this, won't say my thoughts, but it will be in the September wrap. Next up, we have a book that I recently read, talked about in August as well, and that is Parable of the Sower, but this one is actually the graphic novel that, well, it doesn't accompany the book, but it was created based off the book, also from the same folks who did Kindred, and that is Damian Duffy and John Jennings. So I am interested in reading this and seeing how it compares to the actual book. Apparently the theme for this month is continuing on with series, so that's what I will be doing. The next book I will be reading this month is On Us 3 by Nina, and here's the description. While Lake Avery, Ivory, and Bont deal with the makes and breaks of their relationships, they also juggle the other porters on their journeys. Each person is fighting to overcome, find their places with one another, and the new hurdles in their lives. Finding and believing in the trust and love they so desperately seek in one another. Everything gets put on the line in this final installment. Fight or flight has kicked in, and each porter, along with the women they have chosen to love, will need to make a decision and commit. Can love conquer all, or will it not be enough? Valid question. This is the final book in the series, but I know there were other books after this. So excited to continue on this journey and share it with you all. So those are the books I will be reading in September. But October is something I'm very excited about as well. A lot of good releases I wanted to come share with you all. And so let's just delve right into them. It really is as if all of my favorite goated writers came, well, some of them came out and was like, let's put out books in October of this year. And I'm here for it. And so most of these are actually nonfiction, but we'll get into it. So the first one I want to discuss is from Edwidge Danticat, love her, and it's a book of essays titled We're Alone. And it says, tracing a loose arc from Edwidge Danticat's childhood to the COVID-19 pandemic and recent events in Haiti, the essays gathered in We're Alone include personal narrative, reportage, and tributes to mentors and heroes such as Toni Morrison, Paul Marshall, Gabriel Garcia Marquez, and James Baldwin that explore several abiding themes: environmental catastrophe, the traumas of colonialism, motherhood, and the complexities of resilience. From hurricanes to political violence, from her days as a new student at a Brooklyn elementary school knowing little English to her account of a shooting hoax at a Miami mall, Danticat has an extraordinary ability to move from the personal to the global and back again. Throughout, literature and art prove to be her reliable companions and guides in both tragedies and triumphs. Super excited for this. Definitely planning to hit up her book events. So I'm excited. Actually, oh no, this one comes out September 3rd. The book event is in October, and so that's why I was thinking October. This one actually comes out September 3rd. So by the time you all see this video, it will be out. But yeah, very excited for this one. Next up, we have a new release from one of my all-time contemporary faves, and that is Ta-Nehisi Coates with his new book, The Message. Again, this is nonfiction, and this is the description. Ta-Nehisi Coates originally set out to write a book about writing in the tradition of Orwell's classic Politics and the English Language, but found himself grappling with deeper questions about how our stories, our reporting and imaginative narratives and myth-making expose and distort our realities. In the first of the book's 3 intertwining essays, Coates, on his first trip to Africa, finds himself in 2 places at once, in Dakar, a modern city in Senegal, and in a mythic kingdom in his mind. Then he takes readers along to Columbia, South Carolina, where he reports on his own book's banning, but also explores the larger backlash to the nation's recent reckoning with history and the deeply rooted American mythology so visible in that city, a capital of the Confederacy with statues of segregationists looming over its public squares. Finally, in the book's longest section, Coates travels to Palestine, where he sees with devastating clarity how easily we are misled by nationalist narratives and the tragedy that lies in the clash between the stories we tell and the reality of life on the ground. I'm so ready for that. I'm so excited for that. And last but not least, also that book comes out October 1st, so top of the month. And so last but not least, this one will be out October 8th. You've seen me talk about it on the channel. And that is Love After Midnight by Sister Soulja, the final book in that series. And the description reads, after suffering a horrifying yet soul-stirring death experience, worldwide top bitch Winter Santiago, of the coldest winter ever, is alive and facing a dilemma that every living person faces: how to respond to the fear of God, awareness of heaven and hell, while pursuing and satisfying deep desires for sex, fun, love, money, revenge, and fame. In her new novel, Love After Midnight, Sister Soulja delivers a powerful hip-hop hood-style global romantic comedy. I'm looking forward to it. I don't know what it's going to be giving, but I am looking forward to reading it. So those are the books I'm reading in September and the newest releases for October and September that I am most looking forward to. There are a ton of other books coming out, so who knows what you'll see here on the channel, but those are the ones that I'm anticipating for sure, for sure. Which ones are y'all anticipating? Let me know of any books that like y'all know that are coming out soon and you like super excited about it. Let me know in the comments. Let me know what y'all are reading. So many videos to come on the channel soon, so y'all will see more of my face very soon. That is it for today. Until the next one, as always, I am MsMalcolmHughes, one who believes that books are sometimes better than people. Please remember to give time, to be kind to yourselves and each other, and to have the very best day of your life on purpose. Peace. Odavo. Adios. Ciao.